On a rainy night, the lights in the hospital were dim as if it were a reflection of a repressed mind. An old man named Fang made a desperate choice under the suffering of family conflicts, chose to jump off the roof of the hospital, took his own life. Mr. Fang's body was taken to the hospital morgue, just lay there with an indescribable expression on his face. But at midnight, when the night nurse went to check on the morgue, I was surprised to find that Mr. Fang's body is gone, leaving only an empty, cold space. It's like a weird dream. In the hallway of the hospital's emergency room, the young doctor, saw the ghostly figure of Mr. Fang's stiff body, blurred eyes. A chill ran through his heart, as if I felt death coming. Hurried into the room and dialed the emergency 911 number. At the same time, he turned on the camera on his phone, trying to capture this bizarre scene on camera. Sunk. The knock on the door was like a call from another world. Back on the walls of the emergency room makes Lee's heart beat faster, body standing. He kept saying, "Please leave me." His fingers trembled as he pressed the record. The phone began recording the supernatural event. Early the next morning, Lee's body was found in the room, facial contortion, eye movement. At the same time, Mr. Fang's body also mysteriously disappeared. All that was left was a phone that was still recording. Police pulled cell phone footage. All I see is darkness. But the knock was unmistakable. It seemed like a terrifying call from another world. The last voice in the video is Lee's. He came in. Police launched an investigation into the hospital's security footage. I couldn't find anything unusual. The case stalled for lack of leads, but the hospital involved in the personnel have suffered a mysterious death. Every dead person has heard that terrible knock on the door. Sounds like death coming. The whole city was in a state of panic. The legend of the knocker is spreading through the city in the dead of night. Residents are afraid to open their doors, afraid to see that invisible terror exists to this day. That bizarre event still haunts the city's memory. Remind people in this world some things may never be explained. Inescapable. In the days that followed, an air of repression hung over the city. Panic spreads. People invariably avoid the night, lest that knock come again. At the same time, police are still investigating the case, only to find a series of bizarre clues. In the hospital surveillance video, they found an unusual scene. In the wee hours, Zhao Ming's room door suddenly opened, but no one got in. The picture is nothing but empty darkness. Police investigation trying to find out the truth of the case. However, one night, Li Feng, a police officer who is interrogating the case, suddenly received a bizarre phone call. There was a familiar knock on the other end of the phone. Li Feng felt tired and cold. Hang up the phone immediately. I felt a wave of fear I'd never felt before. Li Feng felt physically and mentally exhausted. He realized that these cases could be far more bizarre and dangerous than they ever imagined. On the way to the truth, hidden is an unspeakable power. They may have touched a taboo. Just then the city began to see some strange events. Night. Occasionally, there was a knock on the street. No one knows about Hillary. People are starting to believe the rumors of knockers. It was as if the city had been gripped by an invisible fear. Finally, on a stormy night, the police received the last call about a knocker. There was a whimper and a staccato thump on the other end of the line. Then there was a scream. Completely disconnected, police rushed to the scene only to find nothing. Just a mobile phone lying quietly on the floor. The video is playing on the screen of the phone. There's only darkness and a knock on the door until the last shadowy figure flashed through the darkness. Looks like the shadow of an old man who's been gone for days. The police picked up the phone but pressed play again. Now, the screen suddenly went dark. All the records are gone. Only one line was left flashing on the screen. He's coming in. The city is forever in a state of unexplained fear. The legend of the knocker is also spreading in this land. Became an indelible anecdote. People are learning to avoid the night because they're afraid to be in the dark. That knocker could be here at any moment.